Rock Talk.
By the way, welcome listeners to the Cruise Channel, which it's been like
Appears
yesterday.
to be, yeah. Well, yeah, we did endorse him. I mean, it's not like we spent a majority of our time bragging about endorsing and or commenting on Mr. Cruz's activities, but there's been a slew of endorsements and news in the last 48 hours. And we've been posting the news, and it's because it's easy to post the news. I just posted an endorsement this morning because I didn't have time to do anything else.
Of Concerned Women of America?
Yes. So, and
that's
then,
all right. I got a...
Oh, I know. I went online this morning to look to see if my live page was up, and I'm like, holy crap, Mike's posting all this stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I was working on a few things yesterday, in between, when work gave me a break. But one thing I noticed yesterday morning, the Orlando Sentinel had been on site at a church somewhere where Cruz was holding a rally with Fiorina, and it was actually being done as a Hannity show taping. So they live streamed it onto YouTube, and I downloaded the whole thing, clipped the crap out of it, and put it up like it's basically a Hannity show, except you're the outsider looking in because the Fox camera booms across it in front of you occasionally.
Yeah, we're used to that.
So I've got the entire Hannity taping from Orlando from yesterday up, and properly credited to the Orlando Sentinel. Link back to their news page as well. But what was interesting was that last night's Hannity got hijacked by Trump because of the riots in Chicago.
Yeah, that's going to be our WTF moment of the week.
Have a seat, sir. We're doing a pre-show, so there's probably better.
So that's really interesting because right there you've got the terrorist heirs bragging that him and his friends have brought down a Trump rally.
Well, here we are. It's the heckler's veto. And, when they call people on the right fascists, what they're actually doing is the projection.
I think that's you.
Yeah.
Talk. Test.
Test.
You're good.
I'm in.
You're in.
Yeah.
You're in.
I won't say anything bad now.
You're looped in.
No
This
swearing.
is when you're supposed to start. No swearing. We prefer you not. But
Unfortunately, when Trump talks about punching and dragging out the protesters, it starts to look like he's playing into their hands.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. I mean, Trump's doing a lot of things right. He's focusing the anger of the people against Washington and the party, even though he's bought politicians along the way like everybody else. But he's done a lot of things to channel that anger, and then somehow managing to make it look like brown shirt gatherings, and that's the scary bit.
Yeah,
Well,
Eric Erickson had a good bit about that this morning, that it's just the flip side of the same coin, really, that he's tapping into victimization on the right and exploiting that, but he's really not helping people channel it or giving them a real outlet to do something.
No, that's
just
where
rage.
Yeah, that's where you look at Cruz trying to channel legitimate anger for change versus Trump trying to channel rage.
Exactly.
I think you got the word right. I think rage is the issue.
Yeah.
Not to say that people shouldn't be mad at Washington, but channeling it differently, I think. Meanwhile, Rubio seems to have totally lost his way. Good debate performance, nobody cared.
Right, exactly.
Well, what we're seeing, too, is the hard Saul Alinsky tactics being used last night, because it's my understanding that hundreds of small little groups under the MoveOn.org umbrella, and Black Lives Matter and some of the others, I saw a few red flags in
the commies are out.
Yep, and they are looking to, they've been emboldened by Bernie, the open socialist, and Hillary, the closet socialist, and let's not forget, she is a Saul Alinsky acolyte just as much as Obama is, except, that's what her master's thesis was written on.
Yeah.
She has never disavowed her friendship with him. So she must have been sitting back last night going, yes. And
this is their dream.
This is their dream. And all I could think of was the symbolic location of it being Chicago.
Right.
And I had to explain to the youngest last night, Ian, let me tell you about 1968. I was only 12 years old at the time, but I remember watching it on TV.
That made news around the world nearly as well as Archduke did.
Oh, yeah. It really was something, and it was something that I remember my parents talking about it and going, this is not good.
No.
Because that was the time in the 60s when the real left rabble-rousers were really starting to think we could take over. This was the college radicals.
And then they retrenched, and then they took over quietly. They took over the colleges, they took over the party, they've taken over the government, they've taken over the administrative agencies, and then of course all of education. And you look at you look at Ayers popping up in the middle of all this yesterday, and
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah.
There's pictures of Ayers saying we brought this down.
Oh yeah, he took credit for it.
So
and he's University of Chicago, right? Isn't that where he?
Yes.
He's retired now.
Retired, yeah.
Well, he's still a communist radical.
He's a radical.
Retired meaning drawing government money paid for by us to cause trouble for us.
And ghostwriting Obama's books for him if necessary. Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah, scary times, interesting times, but it's not surprising.
And then there's the tale of the different endorsements. I think the Reliably Rhino review coming out for Cruz just tells you how dire times are for the rhinos. It's basically Cruz or die, and they're beginning to realize it.
Well, do you think that they are going to go for Ted Cruz now that they've figured out that the establishment, Rubio, just isn't going to make it?
The establishment has figured out that Rubio isn't going to make it. They're as mad at hell as at Kasich for being so stupidly vain. Well, if you're stupid,
he really annoys me.
Yeah, he does. Saintly St. John Kasich.
Telling me I'm not Christian enough because I don't support Medicaid.
I can buy you a Bible. It's got 2 parts. Yeah, I mean, really. No, remember, it's about 10 days since Lindsey Grahamnesty said, it may be that our best choice is to unite behind Cruz, and you could sort of hear him choking as he
testing.
That, but
yeah, I thought it was interesting when he said he is at least recognizable as a Republican, and I really thought hard about that and went, really?
And you're not.
You're the one saying this? Come on. I mean, because, yes, we are all very conservative here in this room.
Yeah.
And
me more by the hour, I'm telling you.
No, I thought that was terrific. I really did. It was a big tell. It was like an early, almost a trial balloon or trial buffoon, depending on.
You think it's too late, though? I'm worried it's too late. I mean,
well, it still depends mostly on Rubio.
He should have got out 2 weeks ago.
He should have, and there was a bit of a play, and I tweeted out. I tried to get I'll tell you, this last debate, I agree with a lot of the press that were tweeting out saying that this is boring. And it was boring if you were looking for fisticuffs and food fight.
Well, if you were looking for a reality show called The Republican Debate, this wasn't it.
No.
If you were looking for serious people talking about serious problems, this was your debate.
Cruz was fantastic.
Yeah.
He was.
Rubio was less of the robotic repeat, although he still had his talking points. Cruz, on the other hand, he just deployed his superior memory and command of the issues.
Incredible intellect.
And pushed his rapier through Trump over and over.
Right.
And I don't think Trump even noticed the rapier was so sharp he didn't feel the pain until
he
he
doesn't
noticed
know the
issue.
issue.
Saw the blood. No, he doesn't, and that's really the scariest part.
He'll just go anywhere because he's not grounded in anything ideologically. He doesn't know the issues.
I'd hope to see better guidance with Lewandowski behind him, but
he is Donald Trump.
Yeah, it looks to me like Corey's losing his way as well this week.
About that.
I was going to say that if Trump gets enough delegates before the convention, his smartest move is to ask Cruz to run with him, because at that point, his major competition in a brokered convention is on his ticket. If lots of ifs, if Cruz thinks he can win a brokered convention because he's got the Grahamnesties and people behind him, he's not going to say yes. Yeah. So who knows where that goes?
A lot depends on Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina.
Yeah,
those are all proportional states, I think. Right?
I think if you have to have Trump, having Cruz as the Veep is your best option, having a real conscience there working with him and maybe ready to take over.
Well, you have to remember that we don't know what kind of Congress we're going to have. And if anybody, and I was thinking about this, I'm like, if any Congress was ever going to impeach a president, it would be the next one if we have President Trump if he does something really crazy. Because he's not black. He's not a woman. Right. He isn't protected.
He's not protected.
I mean, they would... these same people who have gone to great lengths to try and keep him from winning the nomination, and let me be clear, I don't think they should. If he gets the delegates, he should get the nomination. You have to protect the process, or the process has no value. Right. It doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not. They do change the rules all the time. I get all that. But people have gone out and voted, and if they want this guy, that's their voice. They want this guy.
If he wins fair and square, he wins.
Absolutely, and they'd best not do anything to mess with that.
It bothers me about Kasich from day one. He's been applying for the brokered convention.
That's his only choice.
His only choice.
Kasich is vain. On the one hand, he thinks he's a saint, and on the other hand, he thinks he's the kingmaker.
Yeah, he does.
It's like one of those dangerous archbishops in old monarchies.
Oh, yeah.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grand Vizier with no vision.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
All righty. Well, we got about 2.5 minutes.
And then we have to
before we start the show.
Then we have to talk about the other endorsements of the week. It was.
We actually have a 2-hour show coming up that we're going to do, where we're going to probably cover all of this crap again.
We're going to pick all of these apart really well, I think. But I thought. It's really telling. First of all, seeing the Reliably Rhino review come out for Cruz, I think was excellent. That was very valuable. But I think the endorsement of the week was Fiorina.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a surprise too. Right?
Because I believe she really is an outsider. I believe that she's a good Republican and that she has become steadily more conservative over time, which is how you can level the accusation. Hell, you can level it against some of us, that she supported McCain or Romney in the pinch in 2008 and 2012. She went out as a surrogate.
That's why she didn't get the nomination, I think, because people looked at her history. But she is moving in a good direction.
Because she could.
Direction.
Go ahead.
Now, we talked about Trump-Cruz or Cruz-Rubio, but what if it was Cruz-Fiorina?
No. Well, that was my point. See, what we just said about if Trump looked like he was near to winning and he wanted to cement it, he would choose Cruz. Because there is some sort of respect between those guys, and I think they could work together.
And presidents and vice presidents typically don't like each other, so that's not a problem.
But if Cruz was near to winning, there's none of the others that he would pick unless there was nothing but Trump that would work. His best bet would be to pick somebody like Fiorina.
Yeah, she'd be awesome.
Because she's the attack dog to go out there after Hillary.
Somebody asked about her endorsement, and I said, you know what? I said, I don't know if it's the best match, but I said, I would love to see her as VP against whoever the Democrats take on a debate stage. I would pay to see that.
My wife loves her. A lot of people like Fiorina. She's got a real strong following.
She'll pull in a lot of women, a lot of people. She's got some fans.
She's a great speaker, too.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes the difference between that endorsement and all the others.
You got about 20 seconds to squeeze it in before we actually start the show.
You can wind up Fiorina and let her go on the campaign trail like they should have done with Palin, only better. And she will take it to the Democrats. She will take it to the other candidates on behalf of
She'll certainly take it to Hillary. All right, we have to take a little 5-minute break here while we start the show. Stay tuned. This is Grok Talk.
Excellent.